Hi everybody. In this video, I outline plans for an upcoming undergraduate course I'm teaching next year on AI and storytelling. As AI progresses, it's crucial that we avoid hype speculation and instead focus on the actual capabilities of AI. One of the ways that I avoid AI anxiety is by examining the specific functionality of AI instead of reacting to the latest fears of AI. The expression, the devil is in the details, applies the impact of artificial intelligence. My journey from English major to technologist to software developer gives me a unique lens on AI's intersection with creativity and storytelling. A lot will change with AI before the end of this year. In this video, I am sharing my framework for teaching this course. The course aims to provide students with an understanding of the impact of AI on techniques like cinematic game elements, branching narratives, AI-enabled characters. World building through AI raises complex ethical questions about human creativity and relationships. A learning outcome for this course is to equip students with the capacity to separate AI's potential from unintended consequences. In upcoming videos, I'll share more details on the curricula, collaborative projects, and research we'll undertake to explore both the upsides and downsides of our AI-enabled future. I hope you'll join me on this journey. The course title is Conversational AI as a Creative Prism. The subtitle is Reshaping Lovecraft, since I will be using a short story by H.P. Lovecraft as a launching point for framing the activities and assignments in this course. The fantastical worlds of Lovecraft serve as a device for considering what many are viewing as the horrors approaching with AI. Personally, I'm much more optimistic, but I want students to come to their own conclusions about AI. The students will adapt a Lovecraft story, possibly The Shadow over Innsmouth, which starts with a young man who finds himself stranded in a mysterious small town. My college is located in a small town with plenty of mystery, and some students, especially those from the city, might feel stranded here. Lovecraft often used academia as a backdrop for his stories. The specific Lovecraft story adapted by the students in this course is not important. Lovecraft sets the tone, the atmosphere, the initial hook of the story. The students then will take an opening scene from Lovecraft and use AI to imagine a variation on the story. But the final result of the course will not be only text. A more appropriate subtitle could be Reshaping Cinema. The evolution of filmmaking throughout the 20th century is a parallel for how interactive media could evolve in this century. Another subtitle could be Interactive Graphic Novels. Let's first look at cinema. This course highlights the convergence of cinema with video games. The class project will result in an interactive cinematic The Lovecraft story adapted by the class. Cinematic in video game development refers to cutscenes or sequences in a game that are presented in a cinematic movie-like fashion. Some key characteristics of cinematics in games include cinematics are non-interactive and advance the story or provide context outside of gameplay. The player watches the scene rather than controlling the action. Cinematics feature high-quality graphics, animation, and production values comparable to short animated films or movie sequences. Cinematics are rendered using the game engine. Cinematic camera work, editing, music, voice acting, and other elements are the style and techniques of filmmaking. Cinematics are used for dramatic storytelling moments to set up levels, convey key aspects of the story, introduce characters, highlight emotional moments. Let's briefly examine the visual novel as a video game genre. A visual novel is a genre of video game that privileges narrative over gameplay mechanics. You might be surprised to learn that visual novels are the most popular form of independently created video games. Key characteristics of visual novels include text based. The story is driven by dialogue and narrative descriptions instead of gameplay. The text is usually accompanied by static visuals like character sprites or backgrounds. Minimal gameplay. Visual novels have little to no traditional gameplay elements. The main interaction is clicking to advance text or to make narrative choices. Branching narratives. The story often has multiple routes and endings based on player choices. This creates replayability. Branching narratives will form an important part of the course and how we use AI in this course. Visual novels have a strong focus on characters. Visual novels emphasize character development, relationships, and drama. Visual novels originate in Japan. Anime and manga art styles are common, typically not action-oriented. Visual novels focus on intimate emotional drama over high action or combat gameplay. One way of thinking of visual novels is as interactive graphic novels. Another method is thinking of this form of storytelling as interactive cinema. How do we blend interactive cinematic experiences with the narrative focus of visual novels? Cinema, the theater, implies a community experience. While multiplayer games are popular, multiplayer adds additional complexity. This course will focus on a single player experience. At a primitive level, everything with a user interface is interactive. Video novels present scenes with an on-screen display that offers choices. The next scene to play depends on the choice of the user. In storytelling, interactivity is more than clicking the next button or clicking a button to reveal more information about a character's backstory. Interactive storytelling requires an action by the user that impacts the story. Interactivity requires the user to make a choice. In games, we often see the initial interactivity as the player choosing the character and attributes of that character. The choice of character might impact the gameplay mechanics, as certain types of characters have abilities that differ from other types of characters. A challenging form of interactivity is the branching path narrative. Branching path narratives refer to stories where the plot can take multiple routes and lead to different outcomes based on choices made by the player. Some key points. At certain story moments, the player is presented with a choice that branches the narrative down one path or another. The choices may be binary, choose this option or that option, or from multiple options that branch the story in different directions. The choice chosen by the player creates a non-linear, multifaceted story with replayability, since players can explore the various narrative paths. The story may have multiple endings unlocked by various branching paths based on the player's choices. Branching paths allow players to influence the direction of the story and feel agency over the lives of the characters. Branching paths are in contrast to a linear narrative predetermined by the author. The significant challenge is that branching paths require a lot more writing by the author to account for the branches and possible endings. That's the hard problem of branching narratives. In most cases, due to creativity and time constraints, most stories with branching narratives lead to the same ending. The routes through the story may reveal different points of view and aspects of the story, but ultimately, the player's choice of route often does not impact the ending. The unlimited creative capacity of AI can offer different routes through a story with endings personalized for each player. The ability to influence outcomes and forge your own path through choice-driven branching narratives is a major part of what makes interactive storytelling in visual novels compelling. An essential question is whether these branching narratives with personal endings are stories or open worlds for exploration. An open world video game provides the player freedom to explore and approach objectives in a non-linear fashion, as opposed to a linear or guided experience. Some key characteristics of open worlds include large, continuous gameplay areas, optional activities and side quests beyond the main objectives, multiple paths to approach goals rather than a set sequence, a core story progressing at the player's own pace while exploring the environment, hidden areas, collectibles, random events, and other discoveries to reward exploration, self-directed gameplay that enhances a sense of discovery and control, a living, simulated environment with wildlife or fantasy creatures, dynamic weather, daytime, nighttime, and populated with non-player characters, NPCs. NPCs serve several important functions. World building. NPC interactions provide backstory, tutorial info, and other narrative context to flesh out the world. Driving narrative branches. Conversations with NPCs often lead to the critical choices that branch the narrative based on player input. Player agency. The ability to have branching dialogue with NPCs gives the player a feeling of influencing the outcomes and forging connections. Replay value. Since NPC interactions vary based on narrative branches, they enhance replayability as players can return to an NPC to see alternate dialogue options. Dialogue and characterizations. Well-written NPC dialogue brings characters to life, conveys possibilities, and builds relationships with the player character. Romance options. NPCs are frequently potential love interests with relationship-building dialogue options that affect the story outcome. There's an entire genre of video games known as dating simulators. Plus, an underground aspect of video games is the adult visual novel. Thoughtfully crafted NPC interactions are crucial to bringing branching narrative games to life and making the player feel immersed in shaping the story direction. In an open environment, an NPC powered by conversational AI raises many questions about the nature of relationships. Having a conversation with an NPC in a video game is one thing, but we can correctly see how the same techniques bring conversational AI into non-game aspects of our everyday lives. Let's focus first on the possibilities of AI companions in video games, visual novels, interactive cinema. Dynamic dialogue. AI could generate infinite conversational possibilities with the companion, reacting to story context and player choices. Personalized relationships. Based on player actions, an AI companion could have a unique personality and form a bond tailored to the individual player. Adaptive assistance. Companions could analyze gameplay and offer real-time hints, tutorial advice, and other aid specific to the player's needs. Enhanced immersion. The sense of interaction with a real character through organic dialogue and changing relationships amplifies the sense of immersion in this environment. Reduced development time. AI companions reduce the need for manually scripting companion interactions, but of course, it raises the technical need for actually incorporating the AI technology into the game. Emergent stories. Conversations with cleverly designed AI could lead to unexpected story moments. You could end up with story moments that the creator, the author of the story, never expected. Of course, challenges remain in areas like maintaining context, personality consistency, and player agency. But the possibilities are very promising for crafting deeply immersive, dynamic role playing experiences. AI companions open up creative potential limited only by the developer's imagination. But what about the AI companion outside of interactive cinema? AI companions have intriguing potential applications in the real world. Virtual friends. AI could provide companionship and emotional support. It's easy to imagine where this could go and where this could go wrong. The movie Her explores the possibilities. Personal assistance. AI companions could help with productivity, planning, and other tasks of daily life. Integration across devices could allow for seamless assistance. Teachers and mentors. AI could teach students in a manner personalized to their learning style. An AI mentor could coach people through career transitions and life changes. Medical aid and fitness. For patients managing illnesses, an AI companion could track treatments, answer questions, monitor health, and provide motivation. Senior care. AI companions with personality could provide comfort, reminders for medications, monitoring for emergencies, and other elder care aid. Social robotics. AI companion robots offer the benefits of conversational AI together with physical embodiment for those desiring in person interactions. Integrate AI companionship with virtual reality, and you have the metaverse. It should be obvious that things could get really strange really fast over the next decade. Of course, thoughtfulness is required around issues like privacy, healthy detachment from technology, and ethical implementation. But AI companions introduce promising new possibilities for human AI collaboration in the everyday aspects of life. Ultimately, in this course, we aim to explore the impact of AI companions through examining the impact of the specific technical components of these technologies on storytelling. In exploring the topics of cinematics, visual novels, branching narratives, open worlds, NPCs, and AI companions, this video has laid out a framework for an undergraduate course examining conversational AI as a creative prism for reshaping storytelling. As AI capabilities rapidly advance, there is immense creative potential in leveraging AI for new forms of cinema, graphic novels, games, and experiential storytelling. However, these technologies also open challenging ethical questions. In the course, through assignments and activities examining both the technical components and cultural implications, this course aims to equip students to critically assess, thoughtfully create, and proactively shape the future of interactive narrative media powered by artificial intelligence. Upcoming videos will dive deeper into the specific classroom assignments, collaborative projects, and research agendas that will foster this nuanced understanding of conversational AI as we all grapple with both the benefits and risks of increasingly human like AI. Guiding students to creatively but cautiously explore this space will prepare them to thoughtfully harness the power of AI in their future careers across a variety of industries. If you have made it this far, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Thanks.